Good morning, everyone. Welcome to an episode of Coffee Break with Card, Laura del Cafecito's sister show. My name is Lourdes Quiñones, and I would like to welcome you to the show. Coffee Break with Card is a program dedicated to all those in our community who are living with autism, to their family members, and to all those who support them. So come on in, join us at the table, and sign on in the comment section below, and we'd love to say hello to you. Let us know if you're drinking a cup of coffee or tea or water or whatever it is that you're drinking. In today's program, we'll be discussing strategies that you can implement at home to support your child's success in school. And we'll be sharing some suggestions for things that you can do to create a distraction free learning space and other ideas. So join us. We have a lot to talk about. So let's start by introducing to you your coffee break hostesses for today. As I mentioned, my name is Lourdes Quiñones, and I am a card consultant assigned to the primary age group. And professionally, I am a pediatric physical therapist as well as a special education teacher. I am joined by my colleagues, Jasmine Castellano. Buenos días, Jasmine.
Buenos días, Lourdes. Good morning to everybody.
And Olivia McDonald. Buenos días, Olivia.
Good morning, everyone. I have my 3 screens, so I'll be weaving around.
You're getting whiplash. So, as you know, Jasmine Castellano is an excellent professional in the field of mental health, and she's a card consultant assigned to the youth group from middle school to young adults. And she's the mother of 3, one of whom is diagnosed with autism. Welcome, Jasmine.
Thank you, Lourdes.
And Olivia McDonald is an excellent professional in the field of public health, and she is a card consultant assigned to the primary age group, just like me. And Olivia is the mother of 2 and has a younger brother diagnosed with autism. Welcome, Olivia.
Thank you, Lourdes.
And before we get started, we want to review the rules by which we want to adhere during this programming to ensure a safe environment for us all. Remember to keep an open mind and a positive attitude and use respectful language. And Olivia, before we get started, would you greet our audience?
Yes, I want to say good morning once again to Dr. Mark Fleming. Hi, Mark.
Hi, Mark. How are you? Thank you for joining us.
And to our colleague, Christina, and let's see. Oh, and Lindsay and Elizabeth. Good morning, everyone.
Good morning, Christina, Lindsay, and Elizabeth. Thank you for joining us. And for those of you who are just joining us in today's program, we will be discussing strategies you can implement at home to support your child's success in school. We'll be sharing suggestions for things that you can do to create distraction-free learning spaces and other ideas. So join us. We have a lot to talk about. So, Jasmine, you have the first question. And let me tell you, this is a lot of material. So I'll be going fast, and hopefully we won't be too much ahead, above the time that we are expected to be on the air. Okay?
Well, let's go ahead and start then. So, Lourdes, now that the school year has started, and what is one recommendation that you can give to parents, caregivers, on how to prepare their home to help their loved ones with autism adjust to returning to school after a long vacation, and who did not take summer classes, or if they did, perhaps they are changing schools or have another big change in their school routine?
Yes. So we know that our loved ones with autism, for them, the routine is the most important thing. So be sure to maintain the same weekly routine throughout the weekend as you do during the week. We have a tendency to relax during the weekend, and that really sets us up for difficulties when Monday comes around. And it's really hard for them to readjust to that transition. And it's hard for you, it's hard for them, and it'll be hard for the teachers as well. So be sure to keep on that. In previous years, we have done episodes about back to school, and we made many recommendations on how to prepare your children for returning to school before school starts. So be sure to try to incorporate to view those episodes and incorporate some of those ideas besides the ones that I'm giving today. And just keep in mind that maintaining that routine is going to be the best thing that you can do. Starting with creating a visual calendar where they can anticipate the fact that after the weekend, they'll have to be back in school on Monday, right? You may want to create a social story. Again, we have in the past created episodes about how to create a social story. So be sure to go back to our YouTube channel, Card-USF, to look through our playlist, Coffee Break with Card, to look through those past episodes on how to create a social story. And one important thing is be consistent and be conscientious of the fact of how important consistency is, because it's not a routine until it becomes a routine. So you have to be consistent in implementing your routine and sticking to that routine. So be patient until it starts working, because it's not going to be, we implemented the routine and it's working right away. No, there's going to be a period of time and before it gets to start, they get used to it. Okay. Olivia?
Too many screens. So, we, I need to move to the next slide first. There we go. So, in addition to visual supports, they're so important and effective, but what other effective evidence-based strategies can you suggest for homework?
So we want to emphasize that homework should be an opportunity for parents and children to bond and not ruin relationships. I think we often fall into the trap of thinking that teachers expect us to be the ones to teach our children the material, when in reality, they're just asking us to give them more practice. So first, it's super important to remember that often our children's teachers haven't yet learned how to teach our children. Perhaps they're just getting to know them, and therefore they haven't even yet figured out how our child learns. So be empathetic with yourself and relax and be compassionate with yourself and with your child when studying. Relax and enjoy the experience and allow them to enjoy it, themselves. Create better memories, and this will lead to better long-term results, right? So how do you win the wars? One battle at a time, right? So now, once you understand this point, there are several suggestions on how to make your experience a little bit more bearable. And so, first of all, avoid the word no. Use positive communication or any similar word. Instead of telling them what not to do, use offer them the alternative of the first then, and also tell them exactly what they need to do. So for example, instead of tell them don't run, you tell them walk, right? I was saying in the previous show, sometimes they're very literal as well. So make sure that what you're saying matches what they're thinking about. So for example, I mentioned the fact that I worked with an occupational therapist for a period of time when I first started as a physical therapist. And she was telling me for the longest time, she was teaching a child to write on the line. And he kept writing right in the middle of the line, his name. And one day she said, "Why aren't you writing on the line?" And he says, "I am writing on the line." What she meant to say is right above the line. So we have to be able to, match our words with what we're saying. he was writing literally on the line. So watch that too. So that would reduce your frustration, because upon seeing that he's not following the directions, she was getting frustrated, but it was on her side, the error, right? So also offer alternatives. Like I said, like the first we're going to do this, then we're going to do that. So if they want to get to the reinforcer, like the tablet, they said, no, first we're going to do these activities, and then we're going to do that. Offer the options that you are going to offer, so they can have a choice. And this choice can be a controlled choice. So for example, would you rather do math first, or would you rather do reading first? It could be the time of the day as well. Would you rather do it in the morning or in the afternoon? Would you rather do it before we do dinner, or would you rather do it after you take a bath? Give them choice, and that really gets engagement and makes it better. And maintain a neutral face and tone of voice. Don't be upset if they are not getting the right answer. Again, go back to that. You're not there to be their teacher. You're there to offer them practice. Okay. If they happen to learn on your clock, great job, but it shouldn't be on you. Okay, Jasmine? You're muted.
So, what are the specific strategies do you suggest to minimize frustration when teaching new or difficult academic topics?
Okay, so one of the most effective strategies is the errorless teaching, but perfectionism, we know that it may lead to, if unable to succeed, they might get very, very upset, and they might give up trying, right? So what we want to do is we want to make sure that they do not make mistakes, right? So there's a strategy that is called errorless teaching. And also the research shows that for our kiddos with autism, it's not the same as with a neurotypical student, where they can make mistakes. We can let them make mistakes, and that's fine. With the students with autism, really, when they make a mistake, it really takes them a while to erase the memory of that mistake. So we want to make sure that they are not making those mistakes. So as an educator, for example, if I know that I need to assess whether or not they know an answer to something, I am going to do is I'm going to ask the questions. And if I see that they're about to make a mistake, I avoid them making the mistake. I still check off the fact that they don't know the answer to that, but then I facilitate the answer by making it obvious. Can we go to the next page, please? And I start gauging. That map gives you different options on how to do it. But before we get to that, let's talk about other ways that we can facilitate and minimize frustrations. Inform. We're going to tell them what we're going to do. And the way we can do that is through visual calendars, right? We are going to do a visual, a first, then. First, we're going to do this, then we're going to do that. We're also going to do a calendar for the week, or a calendar for this, for how that session is going to go, our learning session. First, we're going to do math, then we're going to do, we can let them choose the order of the activities. If it's math, reading, and science, we can let them put the order of things. If we have all activities, let them have a choice in that. We're going to give them verbal reminders of how much time they're going to have left, or we're also going to use timers, visual timers of how you have to do it as long as this timer. Auditory cues are also good. Maybe music. Until the music is playing, you have to be working, right? Some of those apps on your phone that are timers, that are clocks, visual clocks, have music on it. So they have to work while the music is going. That helps to prime their brain to know that they're supposed to be working. Modify the activities. So you want to make sure that that the activities that they are working on include incorporate their choices, that that they are going to have those areas of interest, right? And it includes their choice, and that they get to know what's anticipated in there. Okay. And minimize the frustration by providing the visuals of the final product, what it's supposed to look like. So, for example, if it's they're supposed to model something, or write an essay that is supposed to be however long, provide a model of that. If they're supposed to build a model of something, provide a model of that. If they're supposed to draw something, provide a model. If they're supposed to clean their room, provide a model, things like that. Next page.
So, so what considerations and suggestions do you have regarding the...
Not yet.
Oh.
I'm still here. Anyway,
Oh.
so yeah, it's okay. So the usual supports, the visual supports, we talked about them. They're used for setting up the routines and the visual calendars for the week. We want to make sure that we don't give them free use of the whole space. If we're going to learn, we have to set up an area. So that orange square over here in the corner of the slide is talking about select an area where you're going to be teaching them. Sometimes using the furniture, it could be your coffee table to in a diagonal to set up an area. They don't need to be learning sitting down. They could be learning standing up, but within an area. Just don't let them run all over the house, because then their attention might be less focused. If you let them move in there. I'm all for movement, please. But please limit where they are so that you can interact with them. Also, limit the access to your materials. Don't put everything out there so they're like grabbing things and just throwing things and whatever. Just whatever you're going to be using, take them one at a time, and then give them choices, and then make it fun. Who wants to go learn if it's not fun? Make it sometimes use equipment, like make it a race, like go over there and get the material for the next question, go grab it, and they get to run while doing it. Use scooters, use equipment just to make it fun. And so if you make learning fun, they're going to want to come to do learning with you, right? So it doesn't have to be a sit down activity. It could be like, let's hop like a bunny to go find the next math problem. And then, they come back and they're getting that movement activity, which is something fun for them. Okay.
So
this is more of the some more of the ideas of the how to set up the I wanted to provide the audience, and I'm going to be sharing some of the ideas of how to set up the visual calendars that they can take with them, and just some of the highlights. I'm not going to go through each one of them, but just to give you some ideas, we're going to be sharing this PowerPoint. This one here, I did want to show, take a little bit of time, because, for example, this apron with the choices of food when it comes to lunchtime, and the refrigerator food filled with choices of food, is so important that you promote communication. And the little boy and right there looking at the calendar, I love the fact that it's at his eye level and it has choices. The same thing with my choices over here with the food cards. You can have those at the level of where the child can go ahead and choose for himself. And when it comes time to lunch, mom is prepared to go to him and says, what do you want for lunch? These are your choices. And she's promoting communication. This is what you want. This avoids the behaviors of screaming and crying because the child is hungry. If by wearing this, if he's hungry at a time where she still doesn't know what time he gets hungry, she's learning what time he's hungry. Because sometimes we know that the sensories, the integumentary senses, They might get hungry. We don't know. The behaviors might be triggered by the sense of being hungry. I had a student like that. Every day at the same time, he would get hungry. And until I got to know that, he would start screaming for no apparent reason until I figure out he was hungry, because it was every day at the same time. And that was the cue. Every day I'm like, I wonder if he's hungry. I took him to the cupboard where I kept the snacks, and sure enough, that's what it was. See? But if you're wearing that, then all of a sudden now you're getting his timing. Now you know that, oh, every day at this time he's getting hungry. Now I know. And then you're giving him or her choices of, oh, he wants a pizza, or no, today he wants a hamburger, so on and so forth. The same thing in the refrigerator. Instead of letting them just go in and grabbing whatever they want, they can tell you. You're promoting that communication. I love the contingency map, the one about the sun and the showers, because if, let's say, we promise them that we're going to take them to Busch Gardens on Friday, but then that day, and maybe if it rains, we know we're not going to be able to go to Busch Gardens, right? So then we already have a plan in place that says, hey, honey, but if it rains, we're not going to go to Busch Gardens, but we're going to go to the aquarium instead. And then this way they know that there's a plan in place. Again, we inform before we perform, right? We just said that. So there's a plan. They see the picture of the girl, the black and white picture. This is a girl that says, are we ready for school? We don't have to tell her, put your socks on, put your shoes on. But they get to look at the picture and say, okay, this is what it looks like to be ready for school. I have my uniform on, I have my socks on, my shoes on, I have my books, I have my book bag, la 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 la, and it shows, and then it builds independence and independent living skills and independence, right? And then telling them how to play the games. In the one on the right lower corner, it tells them how to play games, so that again they're independent and they can look at the picture. This is how you build or play with this particular toy, or how you complete this activity.
So
okay.
Oh, and then this is the equipment for making a lot of the resources you just shared.
Yes. Okay. And then finally, I wanted to go over the errorless teaching strategies, because this is so important. The errorless teaching strategy, basically, like I said before, it has to do with helping them not make that error, right? So how you're going to do is you are going to, if you know the child is about to make a mistake, for example, I'm going to ask the child, I have various choices on the table of things, and I say, show me the sun. I want to find out if the child, early childhood, and show me which one is the sun. And I know the child is about to reach for the banana. Well, I asked for the sun, so I know they're reaching for the banana. I know they don't know the sun. So as an educator, I can check, okay, they don't know the sun. I got to teach the sun, okay? So mental note, got to teach the sun. They don't know the sun. So I'm going, instead of letting them grab the banana, make the mistake, because now we got to erase that. I'm going to gently redirect that hand to the sun and say, hi, you got the sun. Yes, sun. This is the sun. Good job. You got the sun. This is not cheating. I already checked off that they did not get the correct answer. But I'm teaching and they're learning the correct. The next one, go ahead. So this is one way. So, but you notice how that one was in the forefront. I made it higher. I made it very obvious because it's in the front. The child is here sitting where I am and it's closest to them. Another way is I can make the other ones, I say it's a digital format. I can make the other ones hidden behind something else. And I'm still highlighting the sun. I'm making the sun very obvious. In other words, help them to know, oh, pick me, like the donkey in Shrek. Pick me, right? Next one. This one, again, the other ones have nothing. They don't attract anything. The sun has eyes, has a smile. I want to pick him, right? So make it obvious. This is teaching them to pick the right answer. Another strategy that I don't have here to minimize, this one here is highlight the letter that you want them to find out. Show me the letter P. This is very difficult. Look at they all look alike, right? But I can highlight the one I want them to pick by highlighting with a highlighter, or by putting it in a different color, like the red, right? But another strategy that I don't have in here is the hamburger strategy, which means you start out to minimize frustration. You start out with a easy, something they already know, that they have mastered this skill. Start out with something easy. In the middle, you put in the new material, something that they haven't yet learned, because this is what we are introducing in the middle. And then you end with the old stuff, the stuff that they have conquered already. So happy, challenging, happy. So beginning and end is the hamburger buns, and the middle is the meat. So that's why they call it the hamburger technique. Those are 2 strategies to help minimize those things. Do we have time to finish that? Yeah, I think so. Okay, you want to go through the
yes, we can talk about some of the things.
Yeah. So we have some resources that we'll cover in a little bit, but okay, go ahead.
So yes, I was trying to ask earlier about, some of the autistic students, obviously they have sensory needs that may affect their learning. So what would be your recommendations for those students?
Yeah, I sort of hinted about the sensory strategies and the sensory systems, like the integumentary system, sometimes impacting the behavior, right? And we know that some of our students with autism have hyposensitivity, which is that big cup in there sort of analogy of it's like I always use my arms, because it's like hypo, meaning it's like a big cup of coffee that needs so much input to be filled up before they can actually sense it. So these are your kiddos who are they're underreactive. They don't receive enough stimulation, and they have they're sensory seekers, so they move a lot. So a lot of times they can be confused as having attention deficit disorder and all that stuff, and they have a difficult time because they're seeking that stimulation. So they may be diagnosed with ADHD, which is a common comorbidity, but a lot of times it may be seeking that sensory input, right? Those are the kiddos that are often moving, and those are I call them my shakers and movers, right? And those are the ones that you don't want to sit down to learn, because they need that input. So let them move, right? And then you have your hyper responsive ones. There's like a little tiny cup like that one. That one gets filled up real easy. Those are the ones who react overly to anything, to the slightest sound, touch, or movement. And it may send them into a meltdown. And they're not exaggerating. They're just very sensitive to those things. And they're defensive. They cover their ears. Any smell might throw them off. If they're defensive in their olfactory and stuff like that. So those are the ones that we need to monitor, whatever they are. But talking about that, we have some strategies that we can use, knowing that may be an issue. Let's think about some of the strategies. So go ahead. So in terms of equipment, we can use the trampoline and movement. That will be vestibular, but also proprioceptive. So we actually have 8 senses. We think 5, 6 if you're thinking about knowing, like, let me know the future. But no, but it's actually 8, and some of them we don't know about. Integumentary is the system, is the organs, is the sense of wanting to being hungry, of feeling our heartbeat when it goes fast, when we are anxious, of needing to go to the bathroom. That's the integumentary. The proprioceptive system is in our joints. It's what tells our brain where we are in space, which muscles to fire so we don't fall down when we lift one leg while walking. And also the vestibular system, which is in the ear canals, which is what also helps us to stay in space, to know where we are in space, and it works together with the proprioceptive system. And so when we were jumping, I like this jumper because it has bars, so you can use it to hold on to it. I suggest always monitor your child so they're safe, because they'll tend to want to jump very, very high. So make sure there's equipment that is put in a place where it's safe. The walls are protected and all that stuff. Be with them. Swings obviously are important. This one here that I saw, it has a bar on top, so be careful. They could hit their head on that, but I like the fact that you could use it as a hammock. Obviously, monitor them. This little scooter, I like it because again, you can put it on their tummy, which helps to strengthen their back muscles, and they can use it to pull themselves for the shoulder girdle and all that stuff, to go get the question. Go get me the next question. Get me that, and make the activity fun. Make some activities that are fun, that they're getting all of that movement during homework. The peanut ball gives them more stability. They straddle the ball, so they can be on the movement. They can jump and bounce if they need to get that vestibular, but they have more control of the ball. They're not going to fall, versus the round ball, that if they don't have that control of their body, they could bounce off of it, like slide off of it. So that's an option. And then I put all this equipment that you can make like a track to help them eye-hand coordination activities, or just a track for around the house. This is so important, and more research is showing the need for our students with autism, our children with autism, to have that coordination and all that balance to help with the communication, with the behaviors, and the restrictive repetitive patterns. So all of this highly recommended. Go ahead. Here are some of the fidgets that can help with doing activities that you can utilize to help their sensories, the tactile senses. Keep going. We're almost at the end. They need to have some of that sense of being inside for reading, all of that, the proprioceptive system. This cushions for the hypersensitivity, noise canceling hearing. The vestibular, it doesn't have to be a trampoline. It could be a rocking chair. If the visual is too much to stimulate it, sunglasses are always good. And those little lights are very good, especially with this this type of tent. Mm-hmm. Anyway, so yeah, and so going back to your question, Jasmine.
So, the last question that I have in here, Lourdes, is if there's anything else that you would like to share with our audience.
Yes, I wanted to remind everyone that in the past we have done back to school episodes where we discuss some of these strategies and others. So please be sure to go back to those episodes and see them. But also we have other playlists that offer some of the resources that I highly recommend. For example, our training and tutorials playlist. There's one in particular there that is basic teaching strategies that goes through some of these strategies in a little bit more in depth as to why they work and how you can also implement them. So I highly recommend that one. Our YouTube channel is CARD-USF. So I highly recommend that you try that as well. And we'll be sharing this PowerPoint as well. So please be on the lookout. If you have any questions, let us know. Again, if you have questions, go ahead and put them there in the questions section, and we'll be glad to answer those. Talking about that, do we have any or comments?
Excuse me. No comments or questions at this time, but I did just want to say thank you to Lourdes for bringing all this super valuable information. Thank you.
Yeah.
You're welcome. All right. Okay, so that brings us, we're almost at the end of the show, but I didn't want to leave without reminding you that we are coming to you every third week of the month. So the next time we're on the air is going to be September 19th. We're going to be talking about mental health and feeding issues. And Jasmine is going to be leading us on that episode. So be sure to be here with us and have a lot of questions ready for us. So please be sure to join us. And in the meantime, I want to remind you to please do us a favor. Please go in the link that we're going to share with you right now to give us what you think about this type of programming. If this is something that you see value in, because this is the way that we can justify the time that it takes us to be in the air with you and to produce this type of programming. Okay, so let us know, please. Is our way to say thank you for us to for doing this for us. Even if you've done it in the past, we need one for every time that we are here on the air with you. Okay, but now that takes us to the end of the show. Thank you for being here. Don't forget to give us a like, share this video on your page and with anyone that you know that could benefit from this type of programming. And I guess we'll see you on the 19th of September. And don't forget, and we love to share a cup of coffee with you so we can spill the beans on topics related to autism. But until then, we wish you good vibes and hot coffee. See you then. Have a great weekend, everyone. Bye-bye.